I just had one of the best dreams of my life. I had the dream that, remember, I got my bracelet yesterday? I had the dream that I went back to Hollywood and I healed everything that happened between Rusty and I. That I was like working again and a returning hero. And it ended with like me doing some public things as Darth Vader, right? Which was like really cool and interesting. Um, and then it ended with me meeting Teal Swan outside and like laying down with her. It was really cool. That was awesome. That's the healing of the amethyst. That's why my amethyst bracelet broke. It's like the psychic attack comes from like jealous men who take my stuff, like Hayden Christensen. I was like critical of Hayden Christensen and he had like this huge fall, and then I was like accepting of Hayden Christensen and he was crying and saying thanks and stuff. I had never seen him like that. A lot of people had said that they'd never seen him do that. But yeah, like I feel like because of Rusty I was destined to be like a great actor, and something happened. It's like I got psychically attacked by people who wanted to take my stuff. They wanted to take my glory, right? And having this band on, um, you hear that pop? It sounded like an angel going on the roof. Made a Yeah. Rusty was the one of the directors. To me, as a kid, he was the director, but I know he wasn't. He worked with a big team of people who all did it, but he made Pinky and the Brain, and he had the awards for doing it. And Animaniacs, the originals, and which were extremely popular. People really liked them as shows. They were interesting. He ended up dying of butt cancer. I was almost an actor, and then my dad was like, "Well, no one ever made me an actor," and took me to a horrible place and had me circumcised right far away from Hollywood. And yeah, so it could have been a curse either by him or by other people. And so it's like to get this like amethyst bracelet, which was always like a special stone for me. I always really liked amethyst. Yeah. Um, it's what I need, amethyst. It's interesting because it's like big moments when I prayed, I always found a giant amethyst or something like that. But yeah, it was a great dream. It was like my military experience came into matter. Maybe, I mean, I've been to Hollywood before and had crazy things happen. Um, so I'm not sure. I think it's pretty interesting. It was interesting. I played Darth Vader in the dream. That was what I was doing. I was in the suit and people were watching me, that sort of thing. And yeah, at the very end, as I met Teal Swan, gave her a hug. She was talking to someone else. She gave me a gift. It was like these tiny wooden boards that all together were a flower of life. Um, I was just like laying down outside with her after like all this amazing stuff had happened, and then I woke up. I've never gotten up and made a dream vlog like this. It just so happens it was after I bought the amethyst. So yeah, I had this thing. It was like I had an amethyst on. I just put it on and it snapped in a parking lot. It just broke. And then I was like, what was that? And the next day, this dude fucking robbed me. This dude was like, hey, let me clean your car for you. And he was like, oh, it's fine. I'll take all the trash. And I was like, that's cool. So because this was back when I had cans. And I let him go through. I went through with them and we had taken it all out. Well, he ended up like stealing my video game system and my weed. And it's a weird thing. And um, so the amethyst bracelet breaks and then someone robs me, right? So yesterday was the first day in a long time anyone had come up and talked to me, and it was like a few people at once. And the difference was is I had an amethyst bracelet on. It was really cool. And then this dream I had was incredible. It was like Rusty mattered again in my life. And Rusty mattered for me, like getting jobs and being respected. People accepted me there and people let me win, that sort of thing. People let me have what I wanted. and it ended in the best was like teal swan. I'm a swan. My totem is a giant swan. Um, yeah, I don't know if I'm too old. I'm probably definitely not to like return to Hollywood and do stuff. Um, Definitely acting before AI would have been a big deal. Yeah, my life felt like all the moments I was ever alone, I was screaming. I would have been so much happier being like doing acting. I would have been way, 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 way happier. I remember it even started on the playground, like being taken to playgrounds and like having kids freaking like be jealous and curse me and shit like that. Because I had like white hair then. When I was a kid, I had like really light blonde hair. I could barely open my eyes. I just woke up. And it was like, yeah, that's what happens is that boys get a little jealous, and a lot of them are like black magicians. They'll curse you. They'll be like, no, not you. You can't have anything. That's mine, that sort of thing. And it was really interesting. I think Till Swan, she's interesting. Like all this stuff went wrong, right? I didn't play Darth Vader, someone else did. Teal Swan is not my girl, she's with someone else. But it was pretty healing seeing all that stuff happen. It was really interesting. I had a good dream about Rusty, and which had been like never. And then I had a good dream about playing a role I always wanted. I wanted to play Darth Vader. I thought that was so cool. And then, uh, yeah, it was fun. Like people would challenge me sometimes in the dream, and then I always knew what to do, and it always ended well. That was like the dream too, is that people would like challenge it, and I would like rise to the challenge and beat them. And it was kind of like a blur between real life and the dream, where like it wasn't like movie cameras and stages and sets. It was like I was Darth Vader, right? So when people challenged me, they were challenging Darth Vader, and I did Darth Vader-y things. So yeah, this idea that you need psychic protection. Obsidian doesn't do it. Hematite doesn't. Maybe it was the rainbow hematite, maybe not. But yeah, I'm definitely going back to this crystal store and I'm buying any more of the fucking bracelets they had. But it was the amethyst. Amethyst has always been one that I love. That has always been in my life, and it has the powerful message of psychic protection, right? That um, somebody's not my friend in my life. A lot of people aren't my friends in my life. Like they see what I have and they want it. Like Lucas or uh, Cliff Rhodes or these people are like little vampires. It's like being hit by a predator, and they do it socially and they do it spiritually. They like pray against you. That's kind of the secret, is they pray against you. They go, well, I don't like him. Why? Because he represents everything you're not. He's tall, handsome. It's just what I was. And so you're gonna put him down and act like his friend to steal his stuff. That's what they do. Is they act like your friend. They act like they know you, and then they talk for you when people talk about you, and it's like crazy. So yeah, having this amethyst was a big fucking deal. It, I had the absolutely craziest dreams I'd ever had. I felt really, really, really good. So we'll see what the future brings. I'm gonna keep, meditating and focusing on what I really want in life, and hopefully we're gonna see, a poor Hollywood burn the fuck down. Man, I was so important to Hollywood. You know why Hollywood burned down? It was because it was interesting. When I went to Tucson last year, Tucson had the highest recorded wind speed they had ever had. It was literally like to the day. Um, Tucson had the highest recorded wind speed they'd ever had. It was their last record was 42 miles an hour in uh, the 1970s, and then this one was 72 miles an hour. Right, like the day I go back to Tucson, and so I'm throwing all these like, God is trash money, all this stuff, right? And it's like I went to Tucson um, because it was dry, and to see my family who didn't want to see me. And it was dry because they have like, they're old and they have like fucking problems. They do got problems. But yeah, my life was ruined in a way by psychic attacks. I would have been a great Hollywood person, both because I have like the honor and the heart for it, and because it's something that was given to me, like a burning desire to do it, to be like involved in acting and productions, because it's a big deal. You're playing a character, bringing it to life. You're engaging with fans. You're entertaining people. It's a huge deal. It needs massive personalities who can absolutely live in the spotlight for it. And I would have been able to do that easy. I would have been a really big deal, you know. And, you know, the time when that could have happened was like the 1990s, right? So we're like 30 years after when that could have gone on. And obviously it didn't, but it did feel like there's been a return to power. I've done a lot of dream vlogs, and you notice they were all like, and then this happened. I don't really know, you know. I wasn't really into it. This dream I was really into. Rusty Mills mattered in my life. That was his name, Rusty Mills. And his story and his legacy mattered to people I knew. And I mattered to them. And it was something that was really cool. And then yeah, it was like I was in productions, I was in the center stage, I was dealing with I was helping with like scene crafting. People were working on a project and I was coming in like a hero and like helping them with like new ideas and stuff to make it better. And it worked really good in my dream. And at the very end of the dream, I met Teal Swan. I mean, I've known Teal Swan for a while. I always thought she was cute. I'm a swan totem too. I had a dream as a kid of a giant swan visited me, and I did this angel reading in this like psychic hub, and it was like to find my animal totem, and the card that came up was swan. It was like 10 swans too, um, which is really weird because swans are always twos. So yeah, I'm a swan totem. I am kind of graceful, and like people stealing a swan. Yeah, I saw this video last night of people stealing a swan. So it's interesting now that like, because psychic protection would mean that my enemy isn't in my head. Because some people are your friends. Some people will actually wish you well. Other people will wish you fail, right? They'll see who I am, what I look like, and they'll go, not you, right? Or they're jealous. They go, that's mine, right? You can't have that. That's my stuff. So it's pretty interesting. Yeah. To like hang out and have a big hug with Teal Swan and just like, I remember just like laying down in peace. That's what it was. I was laying down in peace on like this grassy embankment. I love freaking Los Angeles. It's kind of trashy now, but I really do like it, like the nice spots. Me going as a tourist is not very good. Um, but like the people in Los Angeles have a great spirit. They want to be the best. They want to make a difference. They want to create and know people that matter, you know. So yeah, I had some people online reach out to me and tell me that Jennifer Lawrence is my soulmate. This is before she had a baby. Someone was messaging me pictures of Jennifer Lawrence going, she's your soulmate. And I was like, yeah. But the psychic protection mattered. It was like somebody hates me. Somebody fucking hates me. And it ruined my life because like I'm not like thinking about it. Kind of like how I cursed Hayden Christensen, right? Like Hayden Christensen and what's his name, the young version of him, is I was so jealous of the Anakin Skywalker role that I was like bitter, like grinding, like, oh, how dare you have that, right? And it was like really relieving and different when I let the young Jake Lloyd have it later in life. I was like, he's like Jake Lloyd fell. Jake Lloyd fell hard. I think I may have also killed the Never Ending Story guy because I also was jealous of him. It was absolutely horrible. It was like I wanted to be an actor and get involved in all these interesting projects, and my parents, who had Hollywood connections and were open to it, didn't. My dad was like, well, no one ever made me an actor. And so I left from Hollywood to Tucson. And then at Tucson, like I got circumcised and had to go to public school. I was an absolute nobody. And like a lot of me was like, this is probably some of the reasons I say God is trash, is like, how dare you make me want something and then just like do everything against me to have it. And then it kind of makes sense with the psychic protection that, especially early at a playground, is that people in the playground knew who I was and stuff like that. And they could have just gotten jealous and cursed me, like, not you, that's mine. I'm better than you are, and those little things, unless you're actually like really good at protecting yourself from that, can like ruin your life, because that means a demon has been hired to fucking give you thoughts and turn everyone against you. And so, yeah, because I'm not a Satanist. I don't worship Satan. There could be people who believe in Satanism, right? They believe in like um, using demons and spells and witchcraft and stuff, which I don't do. Um, so yeah, it was all that amethyst. I bought that I've been wanting to get amethyst for a while, and I have a cool connection with it. Like, just like that 10 of Swands, I was asking for help, and I was like invited to this house, and these people had these giant amethysts, but it didn't like work. I had to wear it, right? I had to like have it on my body. So now I do. Um, yeah, it's interesting. But anyway, like these two people came up and talked to me yesterday. It was like this guy at once and then this girl all of a sudden at the same exact time. And then it was like in public when we were talking, these people were like joining the conversation, which hadn't happened in a really long time. I got hit with like an isolate curse, right? It's like exactly like, oh, I'm a Sagittarius. I like being the center of attention. All right, well, now you don't get that, right? Now, because we know you like that, we're going to make sure you never have that, right? It'd be like if, that's a level of petty and angry I'm not. I very rarely think that. Anyway, when I like accepted Jake Lloyd and Hayden Christensen, I saw them crying in public and having healing. Like, no shit. I was such a powerful person and could have been such a great in Hollywood that when I accepted Hayden Christensen and Jake Lloyd, they were having like their public healing moments. And I was like, wow, how'd that happen? That was really crazy. Same thing with uh, like when I was in Tucson throwing the God is trash money, um, Hollywood burnt down. It was like I was in Tucson because it was dry, right? It doesn't have any what do you call it? It doesn't have like rain over the winter. But that was the driest winter LA had ever had. LA was not raining at all. It was just like completely windy and completely dry. It's so dry it burned down. So, and the other thing happened is I went to an anti-Tesla rally and I had a wad full of stamped money and I threw it there. While I was there, this car drove through my neighbor's house. Like, we were connected, our building was physically connected. Yeah, this car drove through my neighbor's house while I was there. So I thought that was really interesting. It's like they were all Africans too. The people who drove through his house, they were all black. Um, so I thought that was really interesting. How like me being in Tucson caused the biggest gust ever, and then LA burning down the same year I was throwing the God money. It's weird how like I don't get struck, people around me get struck, which is kind of sad. Um, but yeah, but the obvious one is that I was playing Darth Vader. There was a lot of red in that dream. You know, I had a dream of a lot of red before. It was where I was in like, this was a pretty powerful dream. It was like, someone was in like the top floor of a brick building and they like powered through to the bottom on intentionally, and it was like all red everywhere. So yeah, me and the color red, I used to hate it. Now obviously I have it. I wear a red mask. I have a red, I have a lot more red in my life than I used to have. And yeah, it's crazy. I'm like 38 now. Um, it's interesting. So I'm open to miracles and synchronicities and useful things. So it would have been nice to have been like an actor earlier in my life, when I was a kid. would my whole life have been different if I had a good amethyst bracelet? You know what I mean? It even could have. Given what I've seen now, it could have. Because I mean, like, what if I hadn't gotten circumcised? What if my dad had been like, yeah, sure, we'll take you to Rusty, or yeah, he wants to be an actor, let's give him a shot. And then I would have had like a career, right? That would have been really, really, really cool. Had like a child career. Just probably still making movies now, a well-known name. I wouldn't have to be as hard about fucking forcing people to accept me as I pretty much have been. Um, so, but yeah, that was fucking cool. And it ends with Teal Swan. Yeah, right. I would have not only been a famous actor, but I would have gotten bitches I wanted. So instead, I got no bitches, and I'm not an actor. That sucked. There's another conundrum in like a socially responsible sense, is that everybody wants to be a famous actor. You know, the number of people who applied for Darth Vader were like, 200,000, right? So Hayden Christensen beat out all of them. I was not in the running, but uh, George Lucas has listened to me in other areas. Like when I wrote about really me being associated with Pinky and the Brain and Animaniacs was a big deal. Like when I told people in my dream who Rusty was, they were like, "Oh wow, that's awesome. That really was good." And it's always never worked before. Before, it's like anytime I bring it up, people are like, put it down, or they can't accept it. So that's probably a demon. That's probably a curse. Honestly, that's probably a curse. So maybe it's a curse from my dad. My dad has like a craggy lower jaw. My teeth are straight, right? Except for like that part. My teeth are all straight, and I didn't get braces for that. They're just naturally straight. My dad has like this really craggy lower jaw. It's like things are crooked and higher and lower. He's got like a crazy jaw. And so to me, like what that means is that they're like secretly really evil, right? That they'll actually like curse people and stuff like that. And that's probably what it was. That's why the amethyst changed my life. Like people came into my life that I hadn't seen, and maybe I needed them. Maybe I was a little rude to them yesterday. Maybe I could have had nicer things to say about them, but um, it was just a crazy, crazy dream. It was a crazy, crazy dream. Um, well, I was lucky too this morning. The clouds were all rolling in. Yeah, I was playing Darth Vader. I was Darth Vader. Um, so given the ages, like it would be interesting if they recasted or rewrote the whole series around me playing Darth Vader every time. That would have been awesome. I was a good Darth Vader. Because Darth Vader, the leader, right? Not necessarily the Darth Vader who killed all the Jedi, but Darth Vader, the actual kind of the warrior leader, right? Because the people I was with were soldiers. Like, it was interesting. Oh yeah, we did this. There was the dream got pretty close to the end around when we were outside in like we were in like a flying spaceship thing, and when we ate is when the like sides of the ship opened up and we took all these pieces out and we literally made like a cooking area. Yeah, this ship has outdoor dining. Like the modular pieces on the side become like like all these burners and stuff. And it was very, very, very meat market, you know what I mean? And all the people there were like soldiers. So, who I'm good with soldiers. Am I a evil or bad person? I don't think so. But I think that I'm definitely a little more balanced in light and dark. I'm deliberately not super, super light because to me it's like, um, see, I was just talking against this yesterday. Yeah, it was super interesting being received, getting successful, and then being rewarded and praised is what I experienced. I experienced the beginning where I started, I experienced the middle where I did it, and I experienced the end where I had like the celebration. And then I got Teal Swan. Yeah, right. Teal Swan was my bae. Um, Obviously, that didn't happen. Other people played Darth Vader, and a long time ago, and Teal Swan ended up having kids with someone else, right? So, but it was a good dream. It was like the secret things I really wanted. There was always a divide between like who, like that psychic attack is like that. You can't have that. You're not made for that, right? That's mine or whatever. Is that it can come pretending to be the light, right? It can come pretending to be good, like, oh, we're keeping you safe when really you're just hiding me from everything I want. Um, so yeah, it was really cool getting that amethyst. I bought the amethyst and two people talked to me, and then I had one of the best dreams I've ever had. It was a dream that was healing for me psychologically, right? So it's like, yeah, that's what amethyst is anti-psychic attack. I have amethyst around me. It didn't really do anything, but definitely like you're probably going to see me later with like a lot of amethyst on. It's just like such a good stone for clearing away other people's desires for you, I feel like. Because that's what a psychic attack is something's attacking your mind. Something's attacking your thoughts, right? Yeah, I've got so much red. It was an interesting switch. And the dream last night was always red. Everything was a red tone. Except for Teal Swan, she was like green. Green and blue. Yeah, I knew I was a swan totem early. You know, my favorite color in StarCraft was teal. And that was early. That was before Teal Swan had a fucking career. I think I'm like a year older than her. Yeah, but teal was always my favorite color. I was like, teal is awesome. You took blue and green and then made it teal. That's my favorite. And she's always used that Teal Swan. And that's like my totems. But like just talking to her or engaging with her online was never enough to be successful. She was never like, you know, she just basically ignored me and ended up with someone else. So that sucks to find that out now. You know, it's like hard lessons, right? Don't stick your hand in a meat grinder. You're going to learn that lesson and you're going to have a life without a fucking hand. All for that lesson, right? But another lesson is like, wear some psychic protection, not obsidian, right? Obsidian is um, interesting because it's like groundedness and negativity. But I haven't. That hasn't. None of the crystals I've ever worn or had changed my dreams and changed my physical life like amethyst. Amethyst is cool. I wonder if in history scientists are gonna find out amethyst has like some qualities to it. You know, I've never made a dream vlog right as I sat up, but as soon as I woke up, I was like going for my fucking phone. Like you wouldn't believe this. I was Darth Vader, and I ended up with Teal Swan. That was cool. Yeah, I would have loved to have been Darth Vader. Even if that stuff didn't happen, it's put back in my mind that I have the possibility of getting some dreams answered. Like one of the reasons I say God is trash is I've just never had a dream answered. Anything I ever wanted or anything I hoped I would receive, I never ever ever got. And instead often I got the opposite where I just had something horrible instead. And that was like this experience that hurt me. It did hurt me. It's just like obviously me serving in the US military is analogous to being Darth Vader. I think that's true. Um, Especially if I have like scary spiritual powers, then it's like it's interesting. I never want to share. This is kind of like how I feel about it. If there's reincarnation, then I hope I really just like have a more intense version of being the winner. And being the winner is difficult because it's not about everyone else losing. It's about having a clear path to have exactly what I want without competition winning. It's when the competition wins. Like, what do you do? Let's say Jake Lloyd and Anakin and Hayden Christensen, which by the way, congratulations. I liked seeing Anakin or Hayden Christensen tear up getting publicly recognized. I thought that was awesome. Um, but it's like instead of like bringing them down, they're just not there at all. Like Hayden Christensen is like, no, I'm going to play tennis that day, you know, or something like that. And then I get it. And then it's like, yeah, it's tough. Like, you want everyone to compete for one spot. Maybe it's an illusion to make you feel special, right? Maybe the power of God is so great that you're not competing with everyone for one thing. It's not the odds you win. It's just you and the creator, and it's what the creator wants to give you, right? That's interesting. I do agree with like Sun Tzu that the battle is won before it begins, right? And it's about how you like spiritually prepare. I'm at 30 minutes. Wow. Yeah. That was an amazing dream. All the red, everything was, the whole dream was super, super red. And that was one of the best dreams I had as a kid, was a super red dream. So, and it's been like, that dream was really great. And there was like nothing else to replace it. Maybe even I said, I hate red. Like me picking the name hate was interesting. Maybe I will go back to height, right? Call myself height. Because then you're on the top of the mountain, height. You would choose hatred over height? I did. Because I just had experiences like, people going on better than you, and freaking, circumcision, and all the teachers are put downers and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah. Even yesterday, like the dude, like, so and so Rhodes talking about, you know, all his stuff. And I just felt like I wasn't heard. Um, whatever. But anyway, obviously this is a different me. Obviously this is a different new energy. Yeah, I would have rather have stayed with Rusty in Hollywood and just acted. It would have been way, 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 way better, because I'm practical too. Like I know what it takes to do a production, what people are going for, how to invent an idea, how to freaking work with it. Like that's very exciting for me, especially like the joy of playing a role and then you get to like invent something to do for the role that brings it out. Like Harrison Ford is known for that, creating character happenings that make the character come alive. I love that. That's actually like the thrill, right? But it's kind of vampiric. Like I was Darth Vader, right? Darth Vader is unquestionably the bad guy in the series. So, if you're going to be the best and you're going to have the most and you're going to win, what is everyone else going to do? And that's a conundrum I've always dealt with the secret government. So I guess the responsible way is to think of it as like what you and the creator agree you're doing together. It's about you and the creator. It's not really about you having to share with the world. It's not about I took it from them. It's that me and the creator decided this, and this is what the creator gave, right? Yeah, it's an interesting philosophy. Are you in the world, and is the world real, or did the creator make everything, and the creator controls what happens? And I've seen that the creator's true, that it has a physical reality mode, and then it has like a special magical spiritual mode where all this crazy stuff is happening. So yeah, I hope that I get majorly respected with some, like, either an acting job offer or a movie production job offer, and that I'm able to play someone interesting, you know maybe the new role of my dreams. They were saying Katniss Evergreen, Jennifer Lawrence, my alleged soulmate. We're both Sagittarius. I think she's a Sagittarius. We have some weird connections that are like good. The Hunger Games are interesting because I'm an archer, and I focused a lot on like Anna, because like I lived through it. Or I'm just not going to eat and I'm going to work out so then I can get skinny. It's a weird idea. It is a weird idea because I actually like bigger now. It just looks like it looks powerful. So yeah, Anna girls are like sex toys kind of, and like if you want a mommy, you want to have a big mommy. You want to have a big woman with energy who will make kids who will be gigantic because they're dominant. So yeah, it's an interesting story. But anyway, yeah, I gotta close this now. My dream. I was Darth Vader, and people remembered Rusty by name, and the fact I was associated with Rusty mattered. And then at the end, I bagged Teal Swan, right? She gave me something cool. It was like this wooden, it was like this wooden thing that made the Flower of Life, but they're all broken apart, and they're broken apart into like little surfboards, which, by the way, I've never surfed. I became like a competitive swimmer, but I never ever have surfed. So imagine me living, I can even smell the sea air more now. Like I can feel the cool air, right? Imagine me, maybe I can go to LA this winter. That's something I could definitely do. Get some synchronicity. I'm kind of like low on courage right now. Definitely earlier in my life would have been better. But yeah, it was just like my dad has this craggy lower jaw. My dad wanted to get me circumcised. My dad was the one who beat me. My dad was the one who made me do all those fucking chores. You know, my dad was like, well, we're going to go to Tucson. Yeah, you want to be an actor in LA? We're going to go to Tucson and we're going to get circumcised and you're going to work. Right. And that was like the fucking worst. That was not what I wanted to do. I wish I was a fucking actor. This shit would have been fucking awesome. Way better. But who knows? I really think it was down to like playground jealousy. I remember just like connecting with people, and it's like when you meet a boy, that boy in his head is better than you. And that boy will think of you as worse than him, right? And it's like what nature had to give men. And then it is a fight over who's the best, and then the best is who succeeds, allegedly. But sometimes there's dirty tactics like, well, I'm going to hire a demon to take you out. You know, my family does that. You don't know. So, yeah. But that was the life I always wanted. I wanted to be Darth Vader. I wanted to have the cool, interesting roles I could live into, right? To become that character. I would have just loved that. And I wanted to bag Teal Swan. Now, she's looking a little older. Now she's still doing her same stuff. She and I are like, I'm like older too. I can't really knock her. But yeah, she's had kids with someone else. I'm just not into it. Spending my childhood doing dry ass boring, I was just alone. I was alone doing work when I wanted to be exploring different roles and like living a lot better, having a nicer home, having friends and respect, even being famous, like having people writing me letters. I would have rather had that. I didn't get a single letter. Anything I was asked was like a chore, like you have to do this. And you know what changed? I wore an amethyst bracelet for psychic protection, right? To protect my mind, to protect like me from maybe not negativity, but from attack, right? Is that things like it was so interesting. My amethyst bracelet broke, and then this dude stole my shit. So it's always dudes. It's like, who are my enemies? Men. Men don't want to see me win. Men don't want to see me win. Men don't want to see me win. When a guy sees a guy thriving, he may not say anything, but he utters a silent prayer going, take him out. It's a fight. I've heard Muslims talk about this, that you don't want to have anything because as soon as someone gets jealous, they're going to be like, Allah, why does he have that and I don't? La, 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 la. And it's like, oh gosh, just don't have fucking anything. It's way better. But yeah, you know, you don't live in a dream fantasy, or maybe I should. Is achieving what I want going to be easier if I live in a dream fantasy? Is being too grounded about sharing and respecting others ruining my time? That's interesting. Yeah, am I being too open to seeing the points of views and needs of others? Should I just like ignore that and really just be a pig? Like, I'm going for it. I'm having it. I don't care what everyone else wants. That's what rap's about. Because certainly I was always a person who thought of other people's needs. I definitely was. And that often cost me because these people don't care about me, right? Like, it's like, um, playground shit, like other boys of the playground don't give a fuck. I remember that. I remember that, like, we go into beach playgrounds and stuff like that. And like, I remember these like points where I sat with like the boys of other parents, and it was like, you're nobody, I'm somebody, right? And it's like, I thought I was somebody, and this person thinks he's better. And it's like, yeah, it's like these early curses, like people don't fucking like you and people don't want you to win. People are like, that's my stuff, right? What do you do? Why did the creator make us all fight over a limited space? You see it in nature with turfing. These animals are crazy turfy. Just notice this tree has a giant cut in it, like a big ass mouth. That's interesting. Never seen that before. But anyway, yeah, that was the dream. Lot of red. I got to be Darth Vader. And at the very end, I was laying down on like it was like a grassy spot overlooking a cliff outside a place I was just celebrated. Teal Swan was like waiting for me. And Teal Swan was talking to this guy, and the guy got up and left, right? Usually it's the opposite. Usually I'm trying to do it, and this guy comes and moves me. But this time I was the man. Yeah, you got to be rich and famous. If you're living a life, there's no other position to be but rich and famous. It's the time when everyone respects you. Who cares if they're all losers? But do you have to timeshare that? Is that demonic? Was the dream of being Darth Vader like a bad omen? You know, was the dream of having Teal Swan a bad omen because she's already like taken and we're already old? That was bad. Yeah. I liked Teal and I'm a Swan, and this person was like, oh, that would have been cool. But no. Yeah, Teal Swan would definitely be a personality who's big enough she could be like wrangled by an actor. That person would want her. Or she would want them. They would be big enough for her. Imagine I wanted to be an actor and I got pulled to Tucson and circumcised and made to work. I spent so many hot, dry, hard years. So many. Just uncomfortable, like horrible time. The horrible time. My life was the horrible time. As we know, Los Angeles does a lot of Satanism. And Los Angeles are like Satan worshippers because it's like, do you want to they even prophesized in like the Bible that it's like if you're a good person, if you're a nice person, you're absolutely going to have a bad time here. Um, and that if you take powers from the dark one, you may win and you may have like the dream life, but you like afterward. Is afterward it's like you're the the untellable time after you've died is when you'll pay. And that's a lot more fuzzy. So it's like it's better to suffer and live as a good person and have a better afterlife than it is to have some temporary pleasures. Maybe that has manifested in LA, that the people who win in LA are like of the dark. Think about what it takes to win a movie role. Hey, everyone's competing for this role, but I'm the best one and I should get it. Like you need a demon on your side going, hey, change their mind a little bit, right? So it was an interesting dream. Anyway, I'm gonna get more amethysts because clearly that was like the game changer. Um, it's just that connection, the fact that I bought this bracelet, I put it on, it was like the first time I wore it, and then it broke. I was like, what the fuck is this? And then this dude robbed me in that same parking lot, the same spot it broke. This dude robbed me, and I was like, what the fuck? And so that is who my enemy is dudes robbing me. That's who my enemy is dudes robbing me. Imagine how petty you have to be as my dad to not see your son's success as your own. A lot of dads would see the success of their son as their success. Like my son became a famous actor, right? And I remember that with the girls across the street. I wanted the girls across the street. One was my age, one was my brother's age, and I was like, oh, these are our girlfriends. These are hot. I love these girls. And then my dad thought they were his girlfriends, even though they were like 14. And I was like, I just remember like being so upset with the world. Like to win as a man, you really do have to destroy all the other guys or take your women to a private bunker. That's really true. You have to take your women to a private palace and have like fucking robot guards guard them if you want to keep a chick. Because all these other guys are gonna fucking walk in. Maybe if I was Darth Vader, then I would be able to get bitches who respected me. Watch a lot of actors. A lot of actors end up with like horrible dog shit women. A lot of famous Hollywood people end up with dog shit women because it's that rule that it's like people want to steal them. As soon as a guy sees a girl with like a high value guy, he goes, I can take her. I'm that guy. It's sperm contender. That's what I call it, sperm contender. The male war over women is called sperm contender, and it's brutal. It's definitely a lot of ego, a lot of I'm better. It's like really elbowy, and so as much as I hate circumcision, I get it. It's like that's why they did it. It's because guys were always a little kid, a little kid boy, a little boy is gonna think he's better than you, right? And so it's like, yeah, tell them to fucking bow down to God, right? I get it. But anyway, I've yapped enough about this dream. It was a cool dream. Yeah, I experienced going to Hollywood. It wasn't Hollywood, but it was where stuff happened. And starting the career, I experienced doing it, and then I experienced the aftermath where people were celebrating. Really coherent. A lot of red, and a lot of like talking to people one on one, and like yeah, experiencing like success and satisfaction. And then I ended up with Teal fucking Swan, which was something I wanted a long time ago and never got. So if there's reincarnation, I hope I can try again in a better spot. I hate that whole like success and failure thing, but it was like, talk about a tough lesson learned. My life never happened, and my life was fucking horrible because of psychic attacks. And then I wear a stone for psychic protection. And all of a sudden, people are coming into my life again, and I have dreams about doing things I really wanted, right? It's that amethyst. The amethyst is stopping someone from attacking me. Some people don't fucking like me, man. Some people don't fucking like me. They never will. They're going to see everything I want as their stuff, and they're going to hope to take me out, right? And that's like, that's the dirty truth. That's the dirty secret. Guy on guy, guys don't like guys. Guys do not like guys. They just don't. Um, Bill Clinton Bill Clinton was out there talking about the importance of circumcising youth when he was visiting Pedo Island. So can you imagine Bill Clinton wants to fuck little girls and he's willing to knife baby boys? Hey, I need you to cut all those baby boys' cocks off because he's thinking in the next 20 years he wants to have a bunch of virgins to bang, right? That's how greedy it is. That's how bad it is. You know, as much as like I'm sad I didn't get to be Darth Vader and I didn't get to have Teal Swan, I'm also happy that in a way my soul is better off because I was a kinder person. I did look out for others more. I was more comfortable with not winning and letting others win. But maybe as like the so-called chosen one, you know how everyone thinks they're the avatar of God. It's because they have a one-on-one relationship with the creator, and it's because their prayers manifest. What I think changes what's around the corner. What I manifest changes what's around the corner for sure. So I definitely have that like divine power where I know that I'm the one. And so maybe being the one doesn't include only nice. Maybe being the one means you also have to be willing to like win and tell other people no, right? They respect that. They do. These people, they respect someone who has like the carnal authority to win and keep it. It's something that all the talk and all the good feelings can't replace. Yeah, that dark victory. The dark victory has like a lasting impact that um, all those like feelings and well wishes and other how it could have been doesn't matter. So yeah. But early on in my life, both from my dad and from like other men, is that there was like this catty jealousy. It's like I can't win and I can't be good because that's their job, right? And so it's like, yeah, you get attacked. Anyone sees you stand out, it's like, yeah. And if they're all Satanists, yeah, hire demons to fucking ruin his head, hire demons to corrupt his mind, hire demons to freaking break apart his family. Because fuck you, right? And will all that be meted out one day? Maybe. But it definitely is true that wearing the amethyst changed my fucking life. I had two people come up and try to talk to me, and then I had freaking a dream, just this great dream. I was Darth Vader, and it was awesome. It wasn't I was Darth Vader and it didn't work, because I was Darth Vader and it worked. And then I got my bitch Teal Swan, right? So that was pretty cool. Maybe I'm just gonna load up on amethyst, and maybe it'll be like a next lifetime thing, right? Maybe load up on amethyst and totally like protect myself. Amethyst is a powerful ass stone. I've worn moldavite. I've worn a lot of different stuff, right? You know, the one that has like a huge impact is like um, amethyst. It's always my favorite. Yeah, boy on boy. You know, I remember seeing this thing, right? This was funny. Um, Little kids are into girls, and little kids are competitive for women, like even against old men. Um, is that I used to have this car that had all these like anime pinup girls on the outside. And I remember it was like I was parked at this hotel, and there was like one other couple there, one other family. And I was walking out to get some stuff out of my car, and this little kid was like, right? And I look over, and he's wearing his Sunday best. This little kid has a suit on, he has his bow tie on, he's slicked his hair, and he's looking past me like, what you got in there, right? So he saw all the girls, and he thought that was a girl's car, right? And then he sees me, and he's like, dang it, who else is there, right? Little sperm contender. And so as much as I like hate circumcision, I totally get it. Fuck you. You know, you want to have bitches, and you're willing to look past me and throw me down, even as a kid. Even as a kid in a stroller. He got his mom to dress him in his Sunday best so he could me. And like, I remember that he was looking past me like, what's in there, guy? It's war. That's why men hate each other. This is war. They don't want to see another man win, and they want what the man wants, and that's where you people come from. That's where you people have come from so long. This little kid is punking me about my own. This little kid shows up dressed to the nines because he thinks this is a girl's car. He sees pictures of girls and he goes, one equals two. But yeah. Yeah. Mars is war. You notice how Mars is like desolate and cold. The red planet is actually really cold and desolate, and Venus is too hot. Like harems, like girls, like the actual alphas have harems, and so like all these girls have to like live in this breeding bunker, and all have to provide like this hot sexual energy to the men while also being like ignored. And so it is like Mars and Venus are great metaphors for love and war. Is that love is just too fucking hot. It's too hot. You can't have like these women have nothing because they are basically slaves. And yeah, there may be a harem dom, but they just get used, right? And who wants to know a bunch of women until it's time for the dom to fuck you? It's basically no life. Like the women lost out on their loves because they're just a toy for a sex dom. And the guys fucking hate each other. It's no life there between men, even like gay men. There's no life there for gay men. They're, oh man, I can't imagine how bad it would be to be a boy raised by gay men. Oh man, sorry about that. Like I said, like one of the ways you can like, if you want to check, if you got circumcised and you want to see dicks, you could join the army, but you could also be gay. So yeah. the Mars thing. Yeah, that was powerful. You know what I'm gonna do? Since my bracelets are always too fucking small, is I'm gonna get my own beading wire, and I'm gonna order off of Amazon. This is what I'll do when I'm gonna be traveling like 1,000 miles soon. I'm gonna be going to get I'm gonna get like raw beads ordered, raw like amethyst ordered, and then I'm gonna make my own necklace or my own bracelet that'll actually fit my arm and won't like leave a fucking giant indent. So yeah, it's too tight. It's too small. Yeah, my feet are. I'm way taller than my dad. My feet are a lot bigger than my dad. I wonder if he's really my dad. My dad could have lost a sperm contender. Here's the thing about me and Rusty. I could have been Rusty's kid. Yeah, it's possible that I am actually secretly Rusty's kid, which would be interesting to get as a DNA test. And it's possible Rusty's kid is with my dad. Yeah, because Evan is really small. Evan kind of has like Steven's features, and I kind of got like Rusty's features. So I could be the heir to like the fucking Warner Brothers, all that fortune, which should be cool. But so yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna focus on some really positive affirmations, and I'm going to. You can't be too positive. I really believe in the negative. Like, this place does not give you shit if you're nice and you ask. You have to be willing to fight and throw down to have anything here, because it's about that war, that love and war type thing. Love is too hot and it's barren. Like, Venus is a barren, super hot wasteland. Anything that goes there gets melted, right? So can you imagine like having to be a bitch for like, he's gonna get you high, so you're gonna experience way too much love, and then it's like you experience all this love, but who's there to love? And then if he gets you high when he's with you, so you're addicted to him, then you're going to feel just withdrawals and isolation when he's not there. So it is like war and love are both cursed. War and love are both cursed, because love is like this desire to have this close mating experience. And if it doesn't go well, or you're being used, like, someone has to feel all the love, so they're going to have all the brides. So if you have all the bitches, then you're going to have like, it's just going to be too hot. You're going to have women living in a harem, so the women mostly know women. They don't really know you. They'll know you sometimes, but they'll always be just like with other girls, mostly doing work or whatever it is they do. And then the harem dom is like just a fucking user. And that's the rich and the poor. So, yeah, and the men war. There's no love, no companionship. It's just cold and dry. Nothing grows there. Men. Do you think men are like glad to be killing men? No, it's like the end of their lives. It's like being pushed off a cliff. It's like, yeah, some men survive war after war, but some men are obviously, a lot of men are just butchered. Their lives end there. They had nothing personal against the freaking dude running the cannon, but the cannon hit him anyway. So it's important not to only think of the winners, because the losers also had had potential, right? So, eternal pleasure body AI spaceship core. This idea that people can live forever, yeah, that's key. But this amethyst was wild. This amethyst was fucking wild, because I've just had experiences with it. I've seen amethyst come into my life before, swans and amethysts, right? And then for like people to walk into my life yesterday, which never fucking happens, and it did. And then, because that's what it was, is I was just isolated. I was isolated. I was blamed. I was attacked. And it was probably like this like cursed jealousy. Like, and it really is like, prayer is a big like doggy pile. It's like, to win a prayer war, you have to be favored. And to be favored, you really have to be like asking for it the most, which goes against my sensibilities. Like, I don't feel like begging God to do what I want, right? I feel like, why'd you make us fight over the same stuff? That's how I feel. It's like, if there's a problem, you can solve the problem. Sometimes you can go and ask why the problem exists at all, right? So why should it be that maybe it's fun? Maybe if I lean into war with men, like, don't try to like boys, don't think of their freaking situation, just take them the fuck out. Which wasn't how my dream went. How my dream went was a lot more like working together and people doing me favors when I needed it, stuff like that. So that was a crazy good dream. I was Darth Vader and I ended up with Teal Swan. I needed that dream. I needed that. I needed that 30 years ago, though. So, but anyway, yeah, what happened happened. But at least it's a sign that I'm healing, right? That amethyst is protecting me against my enemy. Whoever my enemy is, a demon, an angel, like a demon or a person or a group of people. If you shine at all as a guy, guys will fucking hate you. Same thing as a girl. If you shine as a girl, a lot of girls will go like, how dare her? How dare she? It's kind of a secret that if you want to win, you have to make them feel good about themselves. That it's like, you can't be too hot or too successful because they'll want to take you out. And so to like be a winner, but be kind of like cursed or goofy or charismatic is like easier because people can accept you. They don't feel threatened by you. It's true with like Hollywood that they don't hire the most beautiful people. They don't hire the best or most beautiful actresses. They hire people that won't offend the desires of others. Sometimes Friends were really hot. The people of Friends when they were younger were really, really hot. Friends. Anyway, I've yapped and yapped and yapped about this silly dream. I wanted to say everything I wanted to say about it. Rusty's name mattered again. Me being associated to Rusty mattered again. Because there's just like, like, I used to say it sometimes to give like context, but it was never like, it never mattered. People weren't like, oh, okay, well, come over here, let's get you hired. Mm-mm. But maybe it's different now. Maybe it will, right? So yeah, I have some amethyst beads that are really fucking tight because I'm not saying it was made for women, but it was not made for me. And then, yeah, I've blown a girl's pussy out though before. I try not to say this story because I feel like I shouldn't, but I have. I've absolutely freaking made this girl's fucking uh, snatch look like a fucking Salvador Dali clock. Like when I was done in there, it was like fucking all melted, like fucking, like jeez, yeah. Yeah, you can be really big for the baby hole. I'm not with. Here's where small dicks are cool if you ever feel bad about yourself. Small dick means little kid because it means she won't die in childbirth. Is that a tiny dick, tiny guy is going to make a small baby who isn't going to be like impossible to push. She's not going to end up bleeding out or tear. She's not going to need a C-section. So that's like the attractive thing about a guy with a small dick is that it's like, um, the thinking is that because it's a small reproductive organ, then it's a small reproduction. Then it's like she won't have stretch marks. Now, some girls get super massively pregnant. They get like these huge ass babies and they pass a baby that's nearly as big as they are, right? And that's like that like big dick thing is that it's like, yeah, it may be like hot for filling you up, but you're going to get literally, you're just going to balloon, right? And then, so that's kind of like, don't feel bad if if you don't have a huge dick. It doesn't matter that much. For reproduction, it matters. It's probably better to have a small one because you're not going to use it as often. And, you can still make kids and she won't like be a fucking, that blueberry from Willy Wonka, she's not just going to blow up. She's not going to tear on the way out. But having a big dick is fun, definitely for like sex. Literally sex, like feeling it and something to play with. Yeah, it's better. So would I rather have sex or kids? Honestly, how I felt with like Teal was probably more kidsy. It was like a really grounding, calm. Yeah, that's how it was with Teal Swan. It was like super grounding, calm. She and I were laying on the grass, and she had given me a gift of these 4 wooden surfboards that made a flower of life together, like this like loose thing. So, do I think Teal Swan is this great leader? I think I could have had fun with her. Definitely the intellect and the energy. I think we would have had a good connection. Um, I don't really listen to her content. I don't feel like I need help on the things she talks about. So I find I want to interject more than I want to listen. So there's people I listen to. There's times when I like really hear what someone has to say. Like I was watching these videos on how microchips work. Yeah, I was fucking completely silent. I'm silent during documentaries, but like after the documentary, when people are talking, I have my own opinions, you know. Yeah, Teal Swan was like in a green and blue dress. She looked good. She was with somebody else when I went out there, but he got up immediately and we had like a hug. And it was our first meeting. Yeah. When Teal Swan and I met in the dream, I knew that that was the first time we had ever met. But she knew who I was. Maybe she was there to meet me, right? Just outside, hoping to catch me on the way out. And she did. But yeah, I had just been celebrated for having been Darth Vader. It was awesome. So, yeah. Fucking that amethyst. Maybe it's the rainbow hematite too, a little bit, but I think it's the amethyst because that's the like psychic protection. So, what happens when the thing attacking you is stopped? People came into my life and I was able to be a fucking actor. So, who attacked me? Is Hollywood filled with Satanists? Was it a demon? Do I have a demon problem? So yeah, this was a big day in my life. I'm making this long video because I feel like this was a huge deal. This was a huge deal in my life. Um, Things are going to be different now, and I still have some time, so I'm going to get like more things going. But yeah, that's the vlog about this dream.